Welcome back to the Tim and Steve Show. I am Tim Beard.
I'm Steve Morris.
I like your hat, Steve. That's
Well,
a Boston hat.
No, it's a World Series hat that the Red Sox happened to cheat their way into that year.
Who won that year?
I can't remember.
Nah.
I wasn't really invested.
So it was
in
Boston,
the game.
wasn't it? Speaking of Boston, we're going to a Red Sox game on Monday.
I know.
Are you going to wear that hat?
No.
So we're going to buy you a Boston hat?
No.
You sure?
No, because number one, I'm not giving the Major League Baseball any of my money.
That's true.
I'm going because
I bought the tickets.
You're like, if you ask me to pay for the ticket, then I'm not going to go. I'm like, oh, I'm out of money.
You bastard. More importantly, let's talk about our new Ultra MAGA shirts.
I know. Now everybody's going to think we're ultra Trump fans, and it's really just to be provocative and make you all angry.
That's very insightful and true.
I know. Well, you guys are ultra MAGA. No, it just bothers you.
No, exactly.
It's provocative.
Ultra patriots, yes.
Yeah.
But apparently, if I love my country now, I'm a domestic terrorist and all kinds of other things.
I heard Rand Paul talking about that.
Yeah, so
Me too. Just because I was in the military, they need to keep an eye on me because I studied the Constitution and understand.
You understand
the value
laws
of it,
right? Some people just don't understand that rights are rights, and they're going to be there. They're not going to change.
Like, everybody has different rights that they are passionate about.
Yeah.
Me, I'm passionate about the whole system, just being free, doing what I want to do, life, liberty, and property, or as we've changed it before it was published, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Before the government tries to steal all your money.
Yeah, I think they're getting their unfair share.
That's for sure, yeah.
Taxes are ridiculous. Gas prices are ridiculous. Grocery prices are ridiculous.
But the economy's doing better, I hear.
Okay. Elon Musk tweeted out something, was it yesterday, saying that all these people sitting at home thinking that they don't have to work too hard are going to be in for a rude awakening very soon. So I wonder what that rude awakening is. Is everybody's going to have to get out of their houses and start working again?
Maybe.
Because we talk about it, not regularly, but we've mentioned it a few times. Where are all the workers?
Yeah.
You talk to business owners, and it's hard for them to find employees.
Yeah, someone commented on our YouTube page that there's 73 million boomers are retiring or whatever, and so she thought maybe that contributed to it, which I can't disagree with it. I'm sure, but
yeah, that's probably
But at the same time, but what about the younger generation? Like, where are they?
Like the jobs that are out there for the high schoolers that are the first-time jobs,
right?
Yeah, those aren't being filled.
No, it's easier and sit in mom's basement, play video games all day.
Could you imagine being over the age of, I'll go with 19 because some people graduate when they're 19 because of the age. So you're over the age of 19, you don't work, right? So it'd be different if you worked and your parents are like, hey, you can stay here while you get on your feet for the next 6 months. You're still going to have to follow my rules, because if you have rules to follow that you don't like, that is highly encouraging for you to get out of the house and create your own paradise, your own pursuit of happiness. Because, if I had to stay in my parents' house and I was over 18, I would not have been very happy because my dad was very strict. And, you want some freedom when you're an adult. Like, you've earned it, or I felt that I earned it. Yeah. I couldn't imagine. So I've invited my parents to live with me for the last 10 years just because they took good care of me and brought me up well. And, I've been rewarded thus far in life so far with the good choices that I make, that I will give them full credit for the values and morals they brought me up to. But I could not go live in their house and ask them to take care of me at this age. Or, I got it. You fall on hard times and your parents are there to pick you up, but you need to have your own life at some point. You need to create your own kingdom, your own, even if it's an apartment, or it's an apartment above the garage, or a studio above the garage.
Yeah, let's keep in mind, if they do decide to move out here, we're going to be jacked out of here and we'll be in the actual garage trying to do this show.
Hey. But you know what I mean? I
do. I 100%
get out of the
agree.
house. Go and be your own man or woman.
Yeah, I was impressed. My son, he plays video games, and I was like, he's never gonna get a job. Like, I don't even know, man. Like, and he's been working at Ruger's for like a year now, and proud of him.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, I mean, he gets up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, which, like I said, I was really worried. I was like, I don't know if he's ever gonna get a job or do anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he still plays video games, but he lives with his mom now. He hasn't got an apartment yet, but he's working. That's like, hey, you know what, dude? You're working every day.
Is
I'm
he
like,
saving
perfect.
his money? Has he figured that out yet?
I hope, but I don't know. I don't know about that. But hey, he got a job and he's contributing that way. He got his car fixed, and so
Does he pay rent towards the?
yeah.
I mean, but does he see himself there in another year or two?
I don't think so. No, he wants to see an apartment and
Well,
stuff.
next time
so-
I see him, I want to talk to him.
Yeah, you
about
might
this.
have to give him a little, yeah. But I was worried though. I mean, I'm straight up honest. I guess my son, but I'm still worried being like,
Yeah.
hey, like,
That's awesome though. Getting up at 4 in the morning.
that's hard to do. I don't
It's hard to do, yeah.
I was up 4 in the morning this morning because Adelina's not feeling well again. And
Oh no.
so, sleep the last 2 nights has been rough. So today it's kind of like, oh boy, but we'll make it through. So brought a lady to school this morning, and her friend Paige wanted me to pick her up. So I was like, all right, so go down to the Grove, pick her up down there. And we're driving, and Lydia's like, is that Spider-Man? I look, and there's this dude out jogging with a Spider-Man hat. So I'm like,
Oh, I've seen that guy.
have you? We just saw Spider-Man this morning.
He must be. He runs some random roads because I haven't been driving down towards the Grove in a while. So
Where'd you see him?
I can't remember where I saw him, but I remember thinking.
Peeking in your bedroom window. Hey, no, we're kidding. That's a joke.
No, he wouldn't have.
No, but I thought it was funny because it's just like he was just wearing a hat, but it looked like
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I know.
And from
I
a
know
distance,
exactly. As soon
and
as
obviously,
you said that, I've seen the guy. I know
yeah,
exactly what you're
he's
talking
built like a runner, so he's
Yeah.
a skinny guy. I was like, holy crap, we just saw Spider-Man this
Unless he
morning.
was on a bicycle. Maybe I saw him riding his bike with the same type of hat on or something. But I've seen that. I know exactly what you're talking about. As soon as you said Spider-Man, I was like, oh,
That's so funny.
that's the guy I saw out on the road somewhere. It might. I don't know if it was John Stark or maybe back here somewhere, but I've seen him.
Nice. Yeah, I saw him this morning. I was like, hey,
Proud of him.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
out there exercising.
yeah.
And we're making fun of him.
Listen, we're making fun of your hat.
Yeah.
And listen, I love Ninja
yeah.
Turtles. My plate on my motorcycle is TMNT for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we're joking about it, but reality is I'm still a kid at heart. I love
kids
Ninja
at
Turtles. When we finally have like a real set here, like I'll totally have some Ninja Turtles in the front. Like, oh, I'm cool like that. I have Ninja
Is
Turtle
that
boxers.
cool, or you think you're cool like that?
I think I'm cool like that. It's probably not cool at all, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, John Paul and I, when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 came out in like 1991 or 2, whenever that was, we stood next to some kids that moms had dropped them off to act like we were taking our little cousins to the movie. So people would make fun of us because we were like 16 at the time.
Whatever. I'll still watch it. The nice thing is when you have kids and you watch cartoons, you're like, oh, it's because it's kids are watching. Like, most of the time, it's like, nah, it's cool. I'll watch it. Like, of course, like, Ed only likes watching Bluey. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it's based out of Australia, but it's just like these dogs. And it's a good show. I mean, it's...
Is it? I think I saw something on that show recently. I won't tell you about it. I'll look it up and make sure that that's what it was. But
everything I've seen's been fine. But we obviously do watch what she watches because... Like,
yeah, you guys are pretty strict with her because...
Yeah, and like we don't give her electronics. I mean, she's 2, so I mean, the other day when we were down working on that trailer, like Andrea had her phone so that because she likes to go on YouTube and watch Old McDonald and all these different things, And Andrea got a phone back and said she had to delete like 140 snapshots.
Well, it's funny because she had said something. She was like, because we were all kind of busy, and Adelina was sitting nicely in her stroller, but kind of getting restless. So she was like, hey, this is a one-time thing. I heard her say that, and then whenever it got kind of later, the bugs got really bad, put her in the truck. Like I went into the truck to, I don't know, put like something up under the seat. And she was sitting there, and she had the camera back on again. And I was like, hey, you're not supposed to have the camera on. You're supposed to be watching a video. And she just gave me that Adelina look like, So I was like, I wonder how many pictures because Andrea had already said she'd found like 40 or something. Remember? Cause before she put her in the truck, and then when I got into the truck, she had it out. And I was like, what are you taking pictures of? And how do you know because she's so young, and y'all don't. Very rarely do I ever see anything electronic. That was like the first time I think I've ever seen it. But like she was working that like she could figure it out. She's a smart kid.
It's crazy, yeah. So, did Andrea ever drop your boards off to you?
No, I need to.
Wonder what happened to them. Because she took. I took the ladders out, and it's funny because So I brought 2 ladders down. We're gonna rip the porches off. They're gonna move it this weekend, so we're really excited about that. But so we go over to the truck, we're ready to leave, and Steve's got the truck full of boards. Like, I'm taking these home. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But I'm like, where am I gonna put my ladders now?
So yeah, you did have to get out like 7 straps.
On.
Is that why you were giving me the look like you jackwagon? Why are you driving a Jeep out here? Now you're collecting junk.
We got to your Jeep and we're like, yeah. But you did, that piece of glass we brought, we're going to put it in the chicken coop door. Yeah.
It broke?
No, it's square and the chicken coop's a rectangle. So it won't work. I was like, that sucks.
Too short on one side?
Yeah. But, yeah.
It was worth a try, though.
It was worth a try. So, yeah, they're supposed to move that this weekend and then hopefully I have a lot of dirt to move still, so then we can finally put that thing there. But
well, you could always like build a little ledge on the backside and then put a piece of wood on the part that's not covered. That's a lot of work, though. And I don't have the woodworking tools to do that.
Oh, what?
So, there's a gap, so then you just put some ledging around it to slide the glass in, so there'll be another gap where it doesn't match. Then you put a board in there.
Yeah, we put a screen in there, but Andrew didn't buy the tool. They make a little tool that zips around it, and so you're trying to do a screwdriver. And I just like step back and have her do it because it's fine. She knows what she's doing. She can do way more than most women can do anyway. So,
and she was like talking about the nomenclature of some boards. I was like, "How do you know? I should know that. Let me write this down." And
like the thing has hurricane straps on it. She knows all about like you has to have those and. Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, but like she knows the nomenclature, not just that they're hurricane straps. She'll be like, "Oh, that's Type 25 canvas, withstands 400 mile per hour winds, perfect for this type of weather up here in New England. Now down in Florida, you'll want a CR 22." I'm like, "What the heck?"
It's so true. It's a school board meeting last night.
It was stressful. I give myself a D. Just because of the meeting,
I'll give you a B.
So I
like fairly a B.
I watched video to prepare of old school board meetings. I wrote out a script. I told you there were some things that I was going to put in the script. I was just when we were talking about it, like to help me kind of calm my nerves. And then I did not write down like the first thing I was going to start off with. And I think that if I would have started off with that, I think it would have been a little bit smoother in the sense of I could have laid down some foundation of where I was coming from. But at the end of the day, I survived it. There might be some corrections because I still don't know when you got to do a by name roll call vote versus just a
regular
vote. And so I think as I was replaying it in my head last night for 2.5 hours, because I'm my own worst critic, so I'll probably go back and watch it, even though I can't stand the sound of my own voice, just to make sure that if I have to do that again, I'll be better.
No, you did good.
I appreciate that, but like I said, I'm my own worst critic, and at this, I'm unhappy with my own performance, or not unhappy, but like I could have done better. Not even like I could have done better. I should have done better. Should have watched more tape.
Next time you'll know. Like I said, you were at such a disadvantage because you've been on the board, 3 months now? I've been on the zoning board 5 years, and I finally had to run a meeting. And because now I'm vice chair, just like you're vice chair on the board. And, of course, it was like the first one I do is the senior housing across from the airport. So it's a huge hot topic thing. And never mind. Everyone said, hey, you did fine. And it was just letting everyone speak and make sure everyone got their turn and all that. But I know it's stressful. It's definitely stressful. It's like, huh.
Well, I kept looking down at the end of the table at Miss Callum King because she's been on the board longest. Like, because
help me.
I figured if I was doing something right or wrong, she'd give me like some signal or whatever. And she was just looking at me like shaking her head. I'm like, what did I do wrong? She's just
handing you the rope. Keep on hanging yourself, buddy. Keep on doing it.
No, it was. I mean, it was what, 2 hours? A little over 2 hours.
It wasn't bad. Yeah,
But there was some good. There was good that came out of it.
there was some good come out. Yeah,
We had some donations to the school. It wasn't just us. There's others. So that's good to see that we have some charitable.
yeah, we donated.
And we always talk about big companies not really supporting, but that was like the second time now that.
Yeah, what was
a
it?
bigger
Summit.
Yeah,
Something.
Like the mobile.
Just prior to mobile, $500 donation to the middle school for something. STEM, yeah, environmental related, whatever.
Right.
That was cool. We did our 910 donation. You threw me under the bus, like, oh, you have a presentation. Presentation? What do you mean presentation?
I meant like
Here.
Tim's going to present it.
Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're used to me sitting here, and you're like, I'm going to throw you under the bus. I'm running this thing now.
Yeah. Hey, you're the producer, director, videographer. You're everything here. I asked for an executive producer credit.
I'm putting that on the end of the show now. Executive producer, Stephen Morris.
Last night I got to be somewhat in charge. I mean, not really, but I got to lead the meeting. Try to lead the meeting.
So we
keep it on track.
We had,
but it was embarrassing because on the minutes, I don't know if you caught it, but Mr. Spalding had said, "You can leave Miss Morris there." I thought I saw that, but when I went back to look, I swear I must have corrected. You know how sometimes you can correct things internally when you know what it's supposed to be? Because I thought I saw it, and I was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, no.
Maybe you're having an identity crisis.
No.
So
it was embarrassing, too. How did
I already signed up for a public comment, right? So I always go to talk, and I didn't really have anything negative to talk about yesterday, but so I was third on the list, and a lot of times, I don't know, some people, if it's line paper, I'll sign up towards the bottom, and then people fill in because I don't like to go first. Like, I mean, I'd either rather go first or...
Yeah, I think I was supposed to bring the sign-up sheet.
Yeah, well, whatever. But anyways, it got done.
But we got it done.
Yeah, so Miss Frigno...
I have that on my notes for next time. If there's
bring a sheet, yeah. So anyways, Miss Frigno stood up to do her part and named off, all the children and their ages of the...
And the teachers.
And the teachers of the Texas shooting, and that was like, after that I was like, no,
yeah, that was...
I'm good.
It was moving, especially when she said that, I look and I see in the classroom the exact same equipment and tables that we're sitting at, and with only a couple days left in school. It really hit home.
Yeah, it was tough, and then Seth had to go up after that and present. It was a positive thing. He had some awards for Miss Stevens. There's a couple other people. I'm leaving them out.
Yeah, well, he recognized
the whole CTE. Yeah, and he's part of the what is it, FFA?
Yeah, FFA, and
he's part of the cooperative extension, I believe it is. Right? Yeah.
Like with UNH and
So, but what I was going to say, and some of it, the administration and stuff talked about, like the band concert was awesome. Prom was great. I was going to say, shout out to those teachers. And the only thing I was going to do is like, and then after Miss Frigno come up and called out some people, and I'm like, oh, hell yes. So, because I have yet to say people's names. But I was going to say, once again, there's another board meeting. I was the only one there from the public besides Seth, who was presenting something. The rest of the teachers and
Miss... I should have brought my paperwork out here.
Yes.
For the light project.
Yes, Kelly Simpson.
Yes, thank you, Miss Simpson.
Yes, Kelly came in. We'll definitely talk a lot about that as time goes on, but me and Kelly talked about this like 2 years ago.
Yeah, because before I really knew you, we had, part of our conversation was, how do we not have any lights?
Right. So we had talked about getting lights at the football field and basically just fundraising it and trying to make it happen. Me and Kelly had talked about it, and then like COVID and that kind of stuff. And but she's ready to tackle the project again, and so basically it's like $300,000. So she broke down $100 for 3,000 people, and bam, you got it. And I'm thinking, well, me and you will definitely put $100 for it each. So now you already got $200, and so we definitely want to help with that. And she just needs to meet with Ed to make sure. There's some donations that are needed for the CTE. They just want to make sure they're not going to overlap. But she got the blessing from the board last night to use the name and go forward with it. I think it's awesome. huge shout out to her for
I mean, it's
tackling it.
2022. Let's get some lights out
Yeah,
there. Let's
and-
get the kids the experience of playing. I mean, there's
And then they could do a night track field, track and field again, like Claremont did. We could do it here. We could do soccer, a soccer game at night.
I don't know if they would.
I
They're
don't
kind
know.
of touchy feely with their sod and all that other stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, well,
We could talk to Mr. Miller about that though.
that's true.
See
They
what
only,
his take.
they
on
only
it
said
is.
they're like, we couldn't do field hockey because the girls.
Yeah, well, that's
it'd be like
last
me
night.
golfing, it'd be ripping up all the sod, that kind of thing. So, but anyway, she's tackling that project, which I think is awesome. And so, like I said, we'll definitely talk about more of that in the
And
future.
she doesn't even live in Newport. She's not even a Newport.
No, she lives in Unity. She's a big supporter of the rec center. She got lambasted on Facebook over stuff, and because she's not a taxpayer and blah blah blah. But leave that as it may. Now she'll lead this charge, and for me, I'm like, well, that's your,
Yeah, I don't know. It's good to see people out working hard. So yeah, you're the only one signed up for public comment from the public, but she was there. Mr. Milner was there. Same group of teachers that have been coming, the kindergarten, first grade teachers showing up. I don't know.
It's time for people to get involved.
Yeah, and I think it was Miss Ferrigno that said, yes, we can do things here internally, but we also need to take the fight to the state house to get them to pay, like the court ruled in the 90s with the Claremont lawsuit, that the state, as the Constitution's written, is required to provide and pay for education.
Right. And then someone, Bert had said like a good little speech at the end, and Miss Ferguson was like, "Hey, you should run for state rep," and he's like, "No," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
We talked about that after the meeting. Like,
he would be perfect down there. Like, he would cause enough chaos. Like, they'd probably actually get something done because, like, that's what we need down there. It's like someone who just knows the rules and laws and will just go crazy. And I don't know.
I mean, he caught some things in the contract that.
Right.
I didn't catch, which anytime there's grammar or any of that other stuff that I don't catch, I don't know, disappointed in myself. Like I told you, I'm my own worst critic, and that he had there were some things in there that I did not compare properly. As I replayed it in my head last night of why I didn't catch certain things, because I don't like to. I like to do well at anything that I'm doing. And so that, whenever he had all that, and then it caught the Miss Morris, and like I said, I thought I saw it, and then when I look back, I was like, oh no, because our names are in there quite a bit. We do, in our board meetings across the town, we do very thorough minutes where the requirement is it just needs to be, the minutes could be like a page. Like,
right.
This is the topic we discussed, blah, 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 whatever the votes were. But we do copious amounts so that if you don't go to the meeting and you read the minutes, you kind of have a good understanding of what's going on. But anyway, I missed that. As I said 5 minutes ago, I need to let it go, but I can't.
So Monday's Memorial Day.
You're like, hey, this isn't therapy session, man. Be better.
Yeah.
I got you.
So Monday at 11 on the Common, and the Newport Middle High School band and chorus is going to be there. We'll be there. And, definitely come out and join in the ceremony for honoring our fallen soldiers. And, remember this weekend when you're having fun with your family and stuff, what this weekend really is about. And
it doesn't need to be a boring weekend.
Nope, not at all. Just
celebrate because you have the freedoms that you do while you have them. And realize that there are men and women that died for you to have those hamburgers. That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be one of those negative Nellies. Like, you're having fun. Like, go have fun, but also remember that you're getting to have that fun because there are people that sign up, and some people didn't sign up. Some people were conscripted, drafted, however you want to call it, to fight for you. Yeah. So that we have the
rights that we have that
seem to be getting attacked more and more day after day.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is. So Sundays in June, the rec center is doing like this beginning hikers thing. So on June 5th, the first one, so basically meet at the rec at 8 a.m. And they're doing Fitcher Mountain, which is in Stoddard. So they must be meeting there, and I don't know if they're taking a bus or what they're doing. But wanted to mention that. And then every Sunday in June, they're going somewhere else. And I think one of them was in Newport. It was like Lily Pond or something.
Oh.
So that's kind of cool. So if you're a beginner hiker, you want to do that. And then
you're new to the town, you want to get to meet some people, find out some stuff.
Yeah, and then Six in the Sticks is June 18th. I know we talked about that before, but
I'm not signing up for that one.
no, no,
not yet.
we're not ready for that.
No, we should
Yeah,
for next year. Prep starting now.
if you're the man wearing a Spider-Man hat, reach out to us. Give us some training tips.
Go pit him
You'd
against
be like,
the
stop
chief.
eating McDonald's food; it's bad for you, and exercise. There's your tip. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, all the chemicals.
All the things we know
McDonald's
that we
food.
just,
Yeah. Free choice, right? Free will.
yeah.
Well, you got it. Use it.
True story. So that's the local stuff, and then I don't know, it's got like little headlines and things we can talk about too. But Elon Musk went on his Twitter again. He's all in the news, which I think I have no problem with it. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So he did a poll, and who do you trust more, politicians or billionaires? And then he challenges AOC, who's in Congress, to do the same. And I can't find results. I didn't see any results of what that was, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be that billionaires are trusted more than politicians. It's probably just an age-old saying that. I mean,
I don't know. I don't really trust either.
no, I mean, I would, yeah, I would agree. If there was a
Only because,
option
like,
C of neither, I would be very much for that.
Oh, Willie Fence, as we call him, in the. You get it, right? Willie Fence,
Willie Fence,
the billionaire,
yeah, no,
Bill Gates,
no,
instead of a.
I get it now. Trying to, it's funny. I read another story too that he's like dumping in money and like dark funding, whatever, to stop Musk from buying Twitter and all this crap.
I heard that he did like a short on Tesla too, allegedly.
I think it's funny when two billionaires like go at it like that. It's entertaining to me. I think. I mean,
it's competition, right?
Right.
They got to find it somewhere.
I don't think Gates is used to any competition, so, and I just don't think Musk cares. And I don't necessarily trust Musk or anything. He's done some pretty incredible
It's
things.
entertainment.
It's entertainment, exactly.
Keeping you distracted from
Whatever.
other things, probably.
That's true. Very true. Another thing there, I was reading a story there that James O'Keefe, who is the owner of Project Veritas, I think most people have heard of them, basically like investigative journalists go in and investigate things that mainstream media doesn't do.
So what they do is if you work at a big company and you're sitting there and you're like, I can't believe they're saying this. This is totally against values and law, whatever. Then you can contact them and they'll give you like the equipment so that you can put button your shirt up and there's a camera, and then they record people saying the things that they don't want us to know that they're saying. So
back in, was it November? The FBI raided his studio house.
too, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
They cuffed him. He said
handcuffed him. 2 other people, took 47 devices. He doesn't say what device they are, but computers or whatever.
Right.
And it was all about because he was in possession of the alleged diary from, was it Ashley Biden, who says that her, feels like her dad was taking inappropriate showers with her or whatever.
It might have been inappropriate.
Might have been,
along those, paraphrasing.
Yeah. So, of course, he had the original journal, and then boom, the FBI seizes it. So now he's in Congress for an overreach committee, basically the Department of Justice and the FBI, that obviously they broke the law because they're protected by the freedom of the press. And but now, of course, where's that journal gone? How come nothing's happened with that? Just like
They broke the
laptop.
law 2 times over because the judge put an injunction and appointed a special master and said you're only allowed to look at this. And then I think if I heard it correctly, and double check everything on this obviously, but then the Department of Justice went to a different judge behind her back and got it. So, but basically, I think it was the Southern District of New York. There's some whole, and that office has been brought up quite a bit lately because they're pretty much activist in the sense of they go after politicians and journalists.
They're not judges.
No,
No blind justice.
it's not blind. They're in cahoots.
They're political now.
Yeah.
Judges have become political, which
Well, well, we had talked about that the other day off air, but you watch old movies from the 50s, and even the judges in the old Wild West movies were corrupt. The marshals, not all of them, but
yeah, I don't know.
the
It's
right
just-
amount of money. I guess people,
Yeah.
if they don't have a strong moral code, can be bought or blackmailed or both. Allegedly, maybe, possibly.
So it just comes back to this. Well, I mean, this is kind of like, and this is just my opinion, but I almost feel like it's time for the FBI to just be dissolved and put more money into state, like for instance, maybe New Hampshire State Police. So you'd obviously need more of them if you didn't have the FBI, but then the power's not so big. It's smaller in each state. I mean, the FBI and the Department of Justice is as corrupt as anything else. I mean,
Yeah, that's what intrigues me. So growing up in Texas, it was all about, number one, you're proud to be an American, but number two, or very closely similar, on about the same, is proud to be a Texan.
right,
So being a Texan is just as important as being an American, because your state is where you're supposed to really take care of all your business.
right. It's not supposed to be the federal government. Yeah, they're supposed to provide this, the security of the country and
Interstate commerce to
right.
to handle disputes between the states, and now they're basically trying to direct all of us how to live. And it's like, wait a second, I live in New Hampshire with New Hampshire values,
Right.
not in Washington D.C. with your values.
Right. Which, let's face it, you don't have values.
Well, my point is, so you have 100 senators, right? So there's 2 from New Hampshire, but then you got 98 from other states. I don't want New York's values put on me because New
Right.
York has a different approach to
Right.
things. If I wanted that, I'd go live in New York.
If you wanted New York values, you'd marry a woman from New York.
Well, touche. I wanted the toughness of a New Yorker,
You got that.
the Bealo brawler.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. So,
Better keep our voices down. She might come up here and start slapping us around.
more you. No, then again, we're all looped together now. When you don't do something, I get in trouble for it, So I want to read this thing that, I don't know if you know him, Sean Whalen. He actually used to be a UFC fighter way back, and then he's like a real estate guy, and he's like a life coach. And I followed him on social media for a number of years now, and he very successful. Didn't start out that way. He worked his way up, and but he just put this thing out yesterday, and I just want to read at least some of it because he did a great job. It makes
He articulates his points well.
he does much better than I do. That's why he's so successful. So, well, it basically starts out, we're all start at this point, but the government is not your friend. They don't give an F about you or your children. And their words and rhetoric are hollow and meaningless. Damn every single one of them that continues to peddle their narrative when it fits the story, and damn every single one of us that use for them. Damn every single one of them for using the graves of dead children as a pulpit to stand on. For 2 years, more like 50, these clowns have been pumping unproven drugs into adults and children, pushing an agenda that's causing massive depression, massive drug use, and how do you think these swine are going to keep you safe? Now you think they care? He calls BS. Guns are not the problem in this country. Politics are. A nation encouraged to sedate and pop a pill for every sad day is the problem. Children being forced to inject drugs is the problem. The medical field being financially rewarded to prescribe mind-altering drugs to children is the effing problem. Big Pharma is a top campaign contributor to Congress and Senate. Look it up. This country is encouraging humans from infancy to eat garbage food and ingest chemicals known to kill. It's sickening and disturbing. All while the rhetoric is guns, not the family unit or the healthy mind. It's smoke and mirrors and not addressing the problem because the problem is very profitable. These 2 guns in my hand, and he's got a picture of guns, have never taken a life. Sound insane humans don't murder innocent people. Crazy lunatics do. And this nation's politics are literally encouraging the lunacy. It's disgusting, but the truth most don't want to talk about. F the swine in suits, yapping their pathetic gums about guns, but not healthy children. Big Pharma and Big Biz are allowed to sell poison, yet healthy living is oppressive. To every politician standing on the graves of kids talking about guns, not drugs or the family, you are the problem and the enemy of the state. I thought that was extremely well written. I just took out the F word, so just for our audience. I read it to you. I keep them in because I'm not a big F word person, but I try not on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I do my part, right? So I just feel like that's a very well written statement, and I wish more people would look at it and like it's so true that big pharma, Biden comes out and talks about how we need to stop the gun lobbying, yet pharmaceutical companies are the number one lobbyist of all of them and putting all their money in there. And then, the federal government's pushing drugs. Look at the last 2 years, push, even though children's chances of dying of COVID is like next to nothing. And it's less than 1%. It's a 1/4% at the high point.
And they're trying to get you to boost.
Yes, boost. Do all this. Put all this crap in your body that you have no clue what it's going to do. Yet we'll stand here and say guns are the problem. Guns are the problem. Got to get rid of guns. Got to get rid of guns. No, that's not the problem.
Well, that was kind of my thing during COVID, which is, be healthy, exercise.
You never heard that though, did you? You never heard to
better.
Eat healthy, exercise, take vitamins. You never heard any of that during COVID.
Well, it's interesting because for years it was check your labels on your food. And then if you actually check the labels, sometimes you would be, if you look up the chemicals, you're like, why is this in here?
Right.
Why is there fire retardant and Mountain Dew allegedly? Or you know what I mean? Like,
it's
not
Lucky
fire retardant,
Charms
but
had
it's
something in it too.
the same chemicals that they put in the food, they put into industrial type stuff. And it's like, why would I put that in my body? It's interesting because even with JJ, every once in a while you give him a treat and he'll spit it out and he won't eat it. You give him another one, he might eat it. It's almost like he has because there's sense of smell or whatever, like he can smell something off on that. Whereas I picked it up, I smell, and I'm like,
JJ's your dog, by the way.
Yeah, JJ's my dog. Well, Nikki and Zeta's dog. Technically it's Zeta's dog, but Nikki is co-opted.
So that.
But you know what I mean? Like, I just find that weird. Like, sometimes he won't drink water, but then he'll go and you give him a fresh thing of water, and there'll be nothing in it. It's just.
Well, they already say too, like about horses. If a horse won't drink the water, if you brought him to a stream, then it's not safe to drink. If the horse will drink it, it's safe for you to drink it. It's just some sense that horses have. But this can bring us into this next topic that is totally related. Was the lab-grown meat has now quietly been FDA and USD approved. So Federal Drug Administration and the U.S. Department of Agriculture approved, and it's coming this year. So
didn't Incredimeat fail miserably at, remember that whole big push at Burger King or whatever?
Creta-Whopper.
Creta Burgers or whatever.
So it's just more chemical-filled crap to put into your body. So
under the guise of being
right
for the climate.
And I would love to,
because all the cow farts,
have someone that would love to come in and debate that this food is good for you and it's not an issue and blah, blah, blah. I don't think we'll find anyone that will do that or will even debate that, because how are you going to back that up with facts? There's no facts. Why do we need to grow friggin' food in a lab when we have animals that are out? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just another way to put chemicals in. I guarantee, and the biggest person behind this is Bill Gates is a big pusher of this lab meat.
Willie Fence.
Willie Fence is a big pusher of this lab meat, and I can guarantee you he doesn't eat it.
No, come on.
None of those guys eat that stuff. So
it's like going and watching the politicians get a shot of anything or whatever. And it's
right.
Like, they have fake needles.
And you're like,
use them in movies all
wait
the
a minute.
time.
That needle was like empty. I watched the plunger. It was all the way at the bottom already. Like, I know, it's such craziness. And like, so the same people that, you need to eat lab grown meat are the same people, a lot of them, the same people that are like, you shouldn't have guns, that are protected by guns every day, like presidents and congressmen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have these things. And it kind of comes back to this.
You're not educated, smart enough, well-rounded enough to have these kinds of privileges. They know better what's good for you than you do. You just remember that. You don't really know everything that you need to know.
See, I just want to pull this up. Reach it. Sorry. Sorry about that. So I just want to point this book out. It's the U.S. Constitution, and it's other stuff in here too. But you should really read this book if there's a lot of things in this book. Actually, this particular book has more than just the U.S. Constitution. But according to the U.S. Constitution, my rights are irrefutable. Like my First Amendment right, my Second Amendment right, all my rights are. And whether you're a elitist or a leftist or a progressive or whatever you are, or a nut job right-wing person or whatever, communist, socialist, whatever, these are my rights. And I'll die for my rights, just like all the men and women that died to protect these said rights. And I think it's time people wake up in this country and start to realize that these are your rights. Your rights are not something you can be taken from you.
Yeah.
These rights are written in blood because it was the blood of men and women to protect these rights. And if people think we're just going to give them up and be like, oh, yeah, sure, it's cool, because you know better.
It's a new day and age. Let me just go ahead and let you control my life because I'm not really smart enough or concerned enough. Like,
I mean, if you
I have free will.
If you want to live in a country that doesn't allow guns, move to Australia. If you want to live in a country that, whatever, move. Pack your shit and get out.
Yeah, why change what our country is? Like, it's our country. Like,
Right.
I mean, we have social programs, right? So it's a mix, it's a blend.
It is a blend.
We provide opportunities to help people get up, pull themselves up by their bootstraps. But then when people are living and not trying to pull themselves up, but just subsisting off of other taxpayers, like, no, you need to do your fair share.
Right.
Go out there, work a little bit, sweat, earn some money, earn your keep, feel what it's like to be in the real world.
We've forgotten that, though. We've gotten so far away from that now that...
Well, we have comfortable lives. I mean, the technology's come far enough along to where we don't have to work as hard. But,
Right.
You know, like, we're not out there with oxen trying to break up that land with a cart to lift up those rocks, building a pulley system. For some of those, we'd have to have, I don't know, we probably would have just left them and been like, well, we won't plant anything on this row. You know, but now we have tractors, and we've had those for a while, but it makes life easier for us. So while life is easy, don't get lazy and complacent and just start filling your, like, you can't just take a pill for everything. Yeah, there's
Right.
medicine out there that's good for you, but also develop some resilience.
Right.
Have some, work on your coping mechanisms.
It's funny because...
Learn about yourself and feel what your weaknesses are and when you're going to lose your discipline or ability to communicate effectively. Like, know yourself better than anybody else is going to know you.
I mean, if you look at overall the United States especially, more than a majority of our population's obese, overweight, including me and you. But it's just, we never push healthy stuff. We always push the fix, right? Take this pill, you'll lose weight. We always push the do this because it's easy, but never hard work pays off. And if you go run up and down this driveway all summer long, we'll be fit, we'll be in shape, we'll be healthier, and we'll be more motivated to do stuff. Instead, we pump our kids, and not me and you, but society in general, pump our kids full of drugs that are, not proven to be good or bad, but definitely not good for you.
Yeah, I mean, some of them,
like every kid doesn't have ADHD, and that's a thing now.
You need to be told no.
Yeah, you just need to be told no, and you need to accept it. Or, like when I was in school, there was a couple kids that had ADHD, a couple. Now it's like, oh, every kid does. Well, no, like
it's like peanut allergies.
Right.
I don't remember.
Everybody. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's allergic to everything.
I don't think when I was a kid, I don't think anybody ever had peanut allergies. And then all of a sudden, at some point in the 90s, I feel like it exploded.
It does make you wonder. Like
what's going on?
Right. I don't know. It's
what's
just
causing this. And there might be an answer, and maybe I'm ignorant to that. Before I brought it up, maybe I should have done some research. But it's one of those anecdotally, it just seems kind of weird that all of a sudden peanut allergies are a thing. Yeah, and I feel for anybody that has them, because you can die just from like the dust. Like it's crazy. Like I'm not saying it's not real. What I'm saying is, where did it all of a sudden come from?
Right.
What changed in our condition.
But it's just like, if your kid's 5 years old and on 3 or 4 different meds, they're on a depression med, they're on this, and that. Your kid's not freaking depressed. Your kid is a freaking child that's developing. You're putting chemicals in their body that's going to screw with their head. No, it's probably they have a discipline issue because of parenting, and obviously there's exceptions to every rule. So don't email in saying, "Well, my child has." I don't even want to hear it. Okay, good for your like.
No,
No.
yeah, well, yeah.
The majority of people, it's need a pill. Gotta
Is
give my
this
kid a
your
pill.
medical opinion?
This is my Tim Beard medical opinion.
Not authorized as a medical opinion giver. It's just it's your observation that.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. At 4 or 5 years old, it's got to be hard to diagnose something like that.
For all these kids, every kid out there is depressed. You know, it's hard being a kid.
Well, after I think society, after being, I don't know, segregated or quarantined, whatever you want to call it, like, it's hard for people to deal with people again because we were kept apart.
You know, the thing is that gets me.
You show up and you pull up and pop your trunk and they put it in there. You don't communicate with anyone. There's no, hey, how you doing? It's, I don't trust you. I'm scared. You might get me sick. It's,
all of our teachers have said how our kids are all now 2 years behind. And what scares me, as you know, come this fall, you know, when this comes back, because it'll be like cold and flu season again, it'll be like, oh, we need to mask our kids again. And I'm like, no, it's not happening. Like, I mean, it didn't happen with Lydia anyway. She just couldn't go to school for the whole year, but, or, you know, until that point. But, are you kidding me? So your kids are this far behind. They have less than 0.25% chance of dying of COVID, yet we're going to mask them again. We're going to do all this crap.
I think it's less than 0.25%. I think it's way less than that.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
It's like 0.002.
And the only reason it's not zero is because of the few kids that have died from that had cancer. You know, that had something.
According to the research that you've looked at.
Yes.
So just continue to research, right? Because I'm sure as we're sitting here pontificating, we're off. You can fact check us, and because we're not reading it off of
It's
actual
not.
stuff.
Actually, I have something here.
These are opinions that have been formed. I mean, I know I sent you articles throughout because I knew what Lydia was going through, just to validate that I thought y'all were doing the right thing.
A lot of people did. A lot of people that couldn't say that, you know, like there's teachers in school that totally said to her, like, good for you for standing your ground and standing up for your rights. And, then King Sununu shuts that stuff down so that you guys can
I don't understand
do that
why. It boggles my mind. Probably just the way that I was raised and my life experiences and the military and being proud to be an American and understanding exactly how America is great, was great.
Still's great.
Yeah, I mean, we were a beacon.
We were greater. Is that a word?
Greater? I mean, people still are trying to come here.
Yeah.
And some of it could be because the government makes life easy for them when they come across the border. They get,
government's your baby daddy, sugar daddy, whatever. Like,
yeah, you get formula to choose from, allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love America. I love what it stands for. I love New Hampshire. I love Texas. I love Tennessee.
You love the Red Sox?
No. I'm not really an MLB fan anymore. I'm like, after the Astros broke my heart with the cheating, because they're such good athletes. You know what I mean? Like, they're good. They're good. And again, Mark Grace said it a long time ago. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, or you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, something like that. Played for the Cubs. Doesn't surprise me. That would be a Chicago. Like, that's a moral and value from Chicago. Like, I guess I just, my dad always said, do the right thing, do what you're supposed to do, somewhere along those lines. And granted, I make mistakes. I am not perfect. I am a jackwagon. I've been rude to people, probably, all kinds of things. So I'm not sitting up here on some high horse like I'm this great person. I suck sometimes, just like everybody else. But you got to try to make things right. You got to try to live right and realize how awesome this place is.
Yeah.
And we talk about it all the time. Just here in Newport, like, everybody that we talk to when we're out is like, man, hardly anywhere else can you experience this, if anywhere else. Yeah,
like we talk about prom. No one does prom like Newport. We talk about so many things in Newport. nobody does it like we do. Like, we're fortunate to live in a community we do.
Yeah, there's other, small communities. They may not do like prom, not
Right.
even just in New Hampshire, but I'm sure
Right.
out west and
Right.
in the South. I love Knoxville, Tennessee. That was a really cool town, and Gatlinburg and the mountains on the outside of it. Just beautiful, relaxed, nice people, sweet tea with every meal.
I got one complaint about that, though.
What, you gonna get diabetes if
No,
I
no,
give
no,
you some
no.
sweet tea?
No, I don't know. Don't give me your sweet tea.
I know what you said, that I poured you some one night and you almost got sick.
So nasty.
How's it nasty? Sound like Jared. Jared doesn't drink sweet
It's
tea.
because it's a southern thing. Like,
Well, Jared's from Texas. He doesn't drink sweet tea. He has the same reaction you do. He's like, ah.
no, so my buddy only lives in Tennessee, and I went down, bring something to him, whatever. We're going to buy a truck, or I was going to buy a truck and bring it back here and sell it, because a lot of times trucks are cheaper down there, but they're not, like, they don't get rusted out and stuff, so you can bring it up here and make a little bit on it, whatever. So we found a truck, went and checked it out. Oh my God, dude. This dude was like classic Southern slow. And I'm not saying mental slow. I'm talking like, yeah, well, guess we better go down there and get this. And,
I feel like that's how slow I talk.
oh my God, it took forever. I was there for like 3 hours to get this truck that I'm like, man, if you were from New England and moved to Tennessee, you can make a fortune down there because you work 10 times faster than all of them do. Because their whole, now they're not all this way. You just happen to be that Southern, like, stereotype, like, oh, go on down here.
Stereotyping us, huh?
Yeah, no, this is Tennessee. I was in a Texas thing, but so yeah,
Tennessee and Texas are closely related. I like Tennessee.
I like Tennessee. I love the Smoky Mountains. I've been to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and it's beautiful.
We call it Pigeon Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
Church it up, man.
So I have a meme of the day. I don't know if this is Texas enough for you or whatever, but it's a roll of toilet paper. It's John Wayne toilet paper. It's rough, it's tough, and it doesn't take crap off anyone. I had some Obama toilet paper once.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't use it, but
Just broke it out for parties, set it up on the back of
Yeah,
the
someone got
toilet
it.
so everybody could see it.
someone got it for me once because they knew how much I loved Obama. So, yeah,
He did a lot of great things for this country.
he sure did. China loved him. Anyways,
That was sarcasm.
yes. If you
I
don't,
mean, we could say that about just about everybody, though. Like, you could say that, I got issue with Trump's $1 trillion packages that he signed because that's just deflating our money or the value of our dollar.
yeah, I agree.
I mean, the more we write checks that we can't cash, it's like if I know that I have $3,000 in the bank, I'm not going to give you $7,000. Because if I did
But
that, the
that's-
check would get returned, and then I'd have to pay a $50 fee, and then I would owe you $7,000. Like, it does not make sense.
Well, that's why you would be no good as a politician, because you have logic. And if you're a politician, you just write checks and it doesn't matter. It's not your money. And whatever.
I don't really understand how, and maybe it's because I've fallen into a trap again where I start reading like echo chamber type stuff, but
You gotta stop reading stuff. Just follow.
No. I try to. I dig down deep rabbit holes, and I try to get to where there is, and even still though, right? So like the scientific papers, and then you're like, well, who funded this research? Because then you read it, and then you got to go even further and find out who researched it. Then you got to go to their website and find out who's on their board and where they get their money from. And then you got to go to that one, because it's a long trail. And generally, it leads back to like two businesses.
Yeah.
Or corporations or
Flat Earth
entities.
societies are always going to say the Earth's flat, no matter who they pay to research it.
No, well, I was talking about like two.
No, I know what you're saying. I got you.
Okay. Well, you didn't get my Willie Fence earlier.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't know if you got my Gray Boulder and Call of Duty reference.
No, I don't play Call of Duty, so I have no.
No,
clue.
well, the name of the newest.
Oh, I played
Do you
one
know what
time.
the name of the newest game is?
No.
So you got with Gray Boulder, right? So we're doing opposites.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty, the latest game is Vanguard,
Vanguard.
right? Those are the two big overlording that control just about everything, allegedly.
Allegedly. I played Call of Duty once. my son killed me in like 10 seconds, so it was no fun anymore.
Yeah, whenever you're an adult, you don't want to lose to your kids in a game unless it's your.
And not in 10 seconds. This new game stuff, I can't figure it out. Yeah, we played like Street Fighter, the old school, like Nintendo. No matter who
John Paul and trap him in the corner and do a E Honda.
I beat him every single time. It doesn't matter who I played and what he played.
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Mm-hmm. He was so mad. He was like, "Rah!"
John Paul and I used to play that in high school or middle school. I'll back it up, John Paul. We were in middle school when we were going to the Ninja Turtles movie.
Did you play this last week? No.
No, I won't play him because he traps me, and no matter which character he uses, he's got like some little glitch and I can't escape the 100-hand slap, the Blanca bite. Oh, actually, I always played Blanca because if I could get that on him, then I could stop him from, because each character has their own special move.
Right.
He would trap me, and you can't get out of it. Once he started his little sequence.
The crap you know. All right.
The problem is I read too much, man. I absorb as much information as I can, and sometimes it starts crossing pathways.
That's why I need you on the show. You got all this information.
Mr. or Miss turns into Mr. When I look at it, I'm like, that said Mr. I can't believe I missed that. I ain't gonna let that one go for a long time.
I'll make sure I remember it as well. I like to remember things like
Even
that.
Mr. Spalding gave me a hard time about it.
He said that could stay. He was fine
I
with
know,
it.
he like gets his one joke into the night at my expense.
Right, exactly. That was the highlight
It
of
was
the
a good
night.
joke, though. I deserved that.
It was a good one, but all right, guys, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. Everyone enjoy your weekend. It's supposed to be crappy tomorrow, but Sunday's supposed to be nice. Monday's supposed to be nice. We're going to a Red Sox game on Monday.
What do you mean by bad weather tomorrow? Rain?
Yeah. What else would be bad weather?
I don't know. Hot? Cold?
That's true.
It has to be about like 60 to 72 degrees for it to be a good day.
For the northwest wind at 3 miles per hour with a humidity level of
3
3%.
knots. I prefer 3 knots.
All right, so everybody remember, not that you'll forget, it's Memorial Day weekend. If you're available to come down on the Common at 11 or get there a little before 11, please do come out, support the...
Right there on the Common. It's such an awesome
It
area.
is, and they're going to shoot the cannon, which is awesome. That'll scare the crap out of some people. And then they have the 21 gun salute, I believe. Like it's a good thing to remember why we do it and to take part in it. And and like I said, the kids are going to be out there too, the band and chorus.
Yeah, enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. Just remember, what this weekend means and get more involved in your community. It's hard. We talk we talk about a lot of negative things on the show. We talk about a lot of positive things, and the reality is, and I've discovered this a while ago, is like, how can we change? We can't change Washington, right? But we can change our community, and from our community, we can branch out to maybe our county, and eventually, if we get more involved, we can change our surroundings in the world that we live in, and read up, get involved, stop just. Turn the news off, man. The news is just
the news,
garbage. It doesn't matter what you're watching for news; it's garbage. Like,
yeah, we highlight some of the craziness that's going on, but at the end of the day, we want everybody to have fun and enjoy.
Yeah.
Right now, Newport.
Yeah. Get out.
Sullivan County.
Enjoy
New
it.
Hampshire.
Exactly.
Texas, for all my Texas folks. A lot of good stuff to do out there.
We do have listeners in Texas. It's your family, but it's all good. Some in New York.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Some people said they listened to the show. Not that. Wasn't shocked they said they liked it, but I was shocked they listened, period. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. We won't be on Monday, but we will be taping some stuff down at the Memorial Day celebration.
Rob's coming in town on Monday, so
life's about to get interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get him on the show.
I don't know. We'll have to keep it tame, though, because, he's not as... Like, he wouldn't wear this shirt just to be provocative. Just to get people to be like, ooh, like
No balls.
Don't say that about Rob.
I'll tell him wear the shirt.
He won't wear the shirt.
No. You know what, though? He's going to kick our, friggin' pistol shooting.
I know,
so.
he keeps acting like, I'm
yeah.
borrowing somebody.
That's right. He'll be there Wednesday.
Yeah.
He's going to smoke us. You know
he
it.
is. I know. He's good. He will.
Yeah.
He'll probably go and make sure he has all the right gear. look better than us out there, have a matching outfit.
Yeah,
As I had on holy jeans with patches, and I don't even know if my socks matched.
you're just a mess, Steve. See, we're making people feel better about their lives.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of buffoons having a good time, man.
We are. All right, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you on Tuesday.